Hi, in these times when we probably should be social isolating, it's a good time to be working on our paddles. So I'm going to be looking at re-gripping a couple paddles and showing you how to do that and talk about some handle modifications that you can make yourself. All right, the first thing you might want to do is, your paddles come with a comfort grip in place. So this is a Selkirk paddle, my sponsor, and this is called a comfort grip. Typically they're about 4¼ inches. All right, so I'm going to take one that this is a grip that I've actually over-gripped before. I'm going to replace the grip on this. So typically, we're taking off your over grip or even just a grip that you've already put back on. There's some tape that is holding the top in place. So I'm going to remove this tape. Okay, that just comes off. And then you'll notice the grip just will unwind around it. Now the comfort grip is a little bit thicker than your typical over grip. Some people's opinion is that you need to leave your comfort grip or your existing grip on the paddle before you put and then you have to put an over grip over that. My opinion is that you can strip that comfort grip away, resulting in the underlying paddle handle, and then you can just put an over grip on top of that. Now, you'll lose a little bit of thickness relative to the existing comfort grip, about 1/4 inch. So if you're wanting a smaller grip, that's one way of reducing the size of your grip, but you can also take 2 over grips and put them on. Now I like to use tennis over grips as a replacement. The reason being is that tennis are a little bit longer, so you get a number of more winds on that grip. So the fact that we don't have a grip underneath it gives us a little more thickness underneath. They've also got one specific for pickleball. These are a little bit shorter. But once again, I like to use the tennis ones to do this. So I'm going to put, since I do like kind of a smaller grip, I'm going to put just one over grip over the top of this existing handle. Now if you look at the handle, it's pretty primitive under here. You've got the paddle surface going underneath this, and then electrical tape is basically holding not only the 2 paddle surfaces together, which extend into the grip, but then also 2 pieces of material. It's typically a piece of wood that's shaped to kind of fit the palm of your hand. You can go deeper on this and basically take out some of that, take off the rest of this electrical tape, remove that doweling and replace it with another piece of material that might feel more comfortable to you. So you've got options in terms of adjusting your grip completely. Notice I've got a little bit of green tape here. I put 2 little shims here, so I got an easier transition into the paddle handle itself. So I got a little more width right here. So that was a small adjustment I made before I over gripped it last time. So there's lots you can do with this paddle grip. I would be careful messing with any of the paddle surface that comes into here, but anything else around it is something that you can make fine adjustments to. So I'm going to take this grip, and the most challenging thing is removing the plastic on it typically. Okay, so that's all the way off. All right, then once again, this is a tennis grip, so it's a little bit longer. I'm going to take there's a plastic covering that typically, this is the challenging part, is the plastic covering, removing that. You got my little purchase in here. And so the side that's under the plastic covering, the side that's under the plastic covering is what goes out on your paddle. So I'm going to remove all of that. And then I'm going to start at the butt of the paddle, base, and then make a nice roundabout run on that. Okay. And then what you do, so with that being nicely flush or just off the end of that paddle handle end, okay, I'm going to go from there, and then I'm just going to take turns around the paddle, and feel free, you can do this a couple times because nothing's permanent here. So I just kind of go and I go with a nice pace along the paddle, trying to keep it flat, and with each rotation slowly working my way toward the actual paddle itself. All right. So if you get to an area where you don't like what it looks like, you can go back and unwind it and redo that area. And I might, this might be the first go, I might not make it to the paddle where I want to finish, and so what I can do is I can go back and I can adjust these winds to make them either closer together or covering a little bit more distance in between each wind. And so see how tight these winds are together. If I were doing this on a tennis racket, those winds will be much further apart. But since I'm doing on a pickleball paddle, it's typically a shorter handle. I've got a little more space that I have to take up with more winds, or a little less space that I can take up with less winds. I can see I'm not going to make where I'm going to be, so I'm going to go back a little bit here, and I'm going to make the winds a little bit farther apart. All right. There we go. And you know, all it is just trying to make it look neat and be smooth to your hand and provide a little extra padding. Now with the comfort grip, like I said, I've taken probably about a 1/4 inch off with putting an over grip without leaving the comfort grip on. So if I wanted to, I could take another one of these, another over grip, and put it over this. And then I'd be approximating the width of that initial comfort grip and getting back to that 4.25 contour grip size. Okay, so it's looking pretty good in terms of being overly gripped. I'm back. I've got the end of it here. It's got a little piece of tape that basically allows me to tack it down. Okay. And then you finish it off with there's typically a piece of tape that's provided. I've got some thinner electrical tape that comes in different colors that I use sometimes, but I'm gonna, for this video, just put the gamma on there. Okay, and that just goes around and finishes the top of your grip. Okay, so now we've got a regrip paddle. Feels great in the hand. It's got some cushion to it, even though I've removed I'm not doing an over grip over another grip. I'm doing it just solo by itself. Like I said, add a little more thickness by adding another roll, and I'm ready to go and get some hours on the pickleball court with this paddle. All right, remember to like and subscribe for drill videos and videos on the mental side behind the sport, and have fun with those games and keep social distance at this point. Thank you.